Hello and welcome to the mini sets, the Hearthstone's newest mini sets card reveals. Or well, not reveals, reviews. I'm a little late on this because I like to wait till all the cards are revealed before doing the card review. This will be a thing I'll be doing. So yeah, I have all these cards on my sheet that's linked below. And yeah, I have them all written down, but I haven't really rated or reviewed all of them, so I'll do that as we go. But yeah, let's start. Death Knight Common Torch Snatching Geist. 3 mana 2/1 Undead with 1 Unholy Rune. Gigantify with Battlecry, Discover an Undead, reduce its costs by this minion's attack. I think this one is probably fair enough but not good enough. It's probably a good, value card, but, I don't think Death Knight's really lacking in value. I mean, if you're playing an Unholy, you're probably playing Rainbow, in which case CNE should be a good enough finisher. Also, Gigantify. Gigantify is, for those who don't know, Gigantify is just, after you play it, you get an 8 mana 8/8 copy of it. Just something like miniaturize. So, it's kind of weird how they print a new mechanic, a new keyword for the mini set for literally 5 cards. I mean, it can be reused in future mini sets, but why? You have literally 5 cards with this keyword. Either way. Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, okay value piece, I guess. But doesn't really contribute to game plan. I mean, the normal one is 3 mana, discover an undead, reduce it by 2. Actually, it's pretty nice, but the stat line's underwhelming. At 8 mana, a lot of the time you won't be getting the full 8 mana discount. So it really feels awkward to me. And also, it's an upfront cost of 8 mana. It's kind of a lot. Next, we have Helm of Humiliation. 3 mana shadow spell with 2 blood runes. Give a minion -5/-5. Give a minion in your hand +5/+5. I think also fair enough, but not good enough. Thing is, this is -5/-5 that doesn't kill. I mean, it's most likely going to kill because the chance that you run into a 5 or less attack minion with 6 or more health is not exactly common. But it can theoretically board lock, although it's only 1 minion, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But yeah, as for the +5/+5 as just Don Hancho's battle cry, I mean, if that can be slapped onto a 5 mana 5/6 and C0 play, I mean, this is it's kind of like Shadow Core Distort, but with this +5/+5 just slapped on. Which, well, it's a minus attack that it doesn't kill it if it's at 5 more, with 5 or more health, but, on the other hand, it also doesn't stop passive effects like Taunt or Divine Shield, with I don't know, Talon with buffed health or something. I can't really think of much. It seems fine, I guess. Now, Foam Render. 5 mana 5/1 weapon for 1 unholy. Whenever your hero attacks, spend 3 corpses to gain +1 durability. I'd say this is pretty good. 5 mana is a lot, but 5 damage pings is also very significant. A constant 5 damage swings, I guess not really pings. But then, yeah. It's also great, corpse spender for Rainbow. This is 3 corpses a turn. That's pretty good. It can be annoying when you draw both copies. But yeah. Next we have Sock Puppet Slither Spear. 1 mana 1/3 Naga for Demon Hunter. This minion's attack is improved by your heroes. This is a pretty good aggro card. But is Aggro Demon Hunter gonna be good? So yeah. Return policy. 3 mana. Discover a friendly Death Rattle card you've played this game. Trigger its Death Rattle. They just reprinted 9 lives? With literally no changes? I mean, it's slightly different, but 9 lives is a pretty old card that's like, for Hunter, it's a 3 mana rare spell. Good lord, why do I know it's rare? It's basically this. It's like discover a friendly Death Rattle minion that's died this game, trigger its Death Rattle. It's kind of the same. It's very similar, but there's a few key differences in that. First, this is for Demon Hunter. Second off, this is for any card. Third off, the card doesn't have to die, it only has to be played. And yeah, that's literally all the differences. This is definitely a complex card. I think I'm gonna place it in niche. I don't see the Death Rattle synergy being good. Like, really, I don't. So, yeah, next, I guess. Because, really, what? I don't know why they were cooking. Gibberling Reject. 4 mana 3/3 Demon. After your hero attacks, summon another Gibberling Reject. So, yeah, this is definitely more of a patron than a Gibberling. I mean, they're kind of similar, but Gibberlings are usually 1 mana 1/1s, or like just 1/1 stat lines instead of 3/3. 3/3 more patrons, but either way, in terms of power level, it's what, 5 mana 6/6 at worst? Ooh, crazy. 5 mana 6/6. Ooh, it's not like Midnight Wolf is 6 mana 12/12 or anything. This is mid even for arena standards. So yeah, I think this is too simple. This is not too simple. I think I'm placing this pretty weak. Like, I think honestly 5 mana would not even be OP. It's sorry, 5 mana. 3 mana would make it more playable. Next, we have 3 mana 2/4 Beast for Druid, Snuggle Teddy. Gigantify Elusive Lifesteal Taunt. It's a nice taunt. Taunt Lifesteal is nice. Elusive makes sure you're almost always gonna get the Lifesteal. And, it can give you, like, the survivability to reach the 8/8, but it doesn't really contribute to any game plan in particular. Like, there isn't a big Beast Druid right now, or any Beast Druid at all. So, yeah. Next, we have Overgrown Beanstalk. 3 mana nature spell. Summon a 2/2 Triad. Draw a card for each Triad you control. It's reload for Triad Druid, just that Triad Druid doesn't really exist right now. I mean, it hasn't existed at all during okay, it was pretty good during Badlands, but it isn't very good now, and I don't see this card being like the card that'll make it Triad Druid good. But it will see play Triad Druid, I'd imagine. I mean, that deck doesn't really have a lot of draw. So, yeah. Next, we have Tyrantrum. 6 mana 7/7. Taunt and Elusive with Battle Cry. If you have 10 mana crystals, gain +7/+7. It's just the old Tyrantrum, but on 6. And, well, it's honestly thoroughly mid. Like, first off, 6 mana 7/7 Taunt Elusive is already very mid. And then, if you have 10 mana, the thing is, similar. Well, this is, you have to play it from hand when you have 10 mana for it to actually matter, to actually get the 7/7. That means you only have like 4 mana left to do God knows what. And the worst part is that there's no beast synergy in Druid at all. Right now, at least. So, it's funny for sure. Yeah, 6 mana 14/14. Yeah, big stats, good stats for the cost. But, yeah, it's really mid. Next, we have Bargain Bin. Hey, wasn't Bargain Bin Buccaneer a card in the main set? Like the rogue one? Hold on, let me check. Yeah, it was. Huh. I didn't really realize. 2-mana Hunter spell with Secret. After your opponent plays a minion spell or weapon, draw a card of the other two types. Okay, so this is actually pretty good, I'd say. That's what I'm rating it. Like, it's 2-mana draw 2 almost all the time. You're almost always tutoring out a weapon. And if not 2-mana, draw a minion and a spell is pretty good. It's comparable to a fetch, but without the beast restriction. And if you're tutoring out a weapon, that can be nice. That can be very nice. Like, the Hunter doesn't really have many weapon tutors. I mean, there's like, what, Instrument Tech? But that's kind of it. So that can be very nice. And it's also just general draw, which, you know, Hunter has historically lacked. This will probably see play in most Hunter decks, since weapons are very good in Hunter. Well, not very good, like, but, you know, weapons have always been there in Hunter. So, and I don't see it changing. I don't see that changing. This with Starstrong Bow, especially, like, 6-man. This can discount Starstrong Bow and then also, like, tutor it out. That can be nice. And even if your opponent plays a weapon, first off, why? First off, that is almost never gonna happen because most other classes don't really have weapons right now. I mean, Demon Hunter has like Umpire's Grasp, opposing hunters have like remote control, rogues have water cannon. But other than that, not really, right? And then also your opponent probably doesn't usually play it first. But even in that case, you're still drawing a minion and a spell, which is, like I said earlier, not bad. So I think this is just pretty good. Next, we have the first of like 3 or something packs. All the packs are rare 1-mana spells with add 5 random cards of, you know, a certain type of cards to your hand, and then discards them at the end of your turn. In this case, it's add 5 random beasts to your hand. At the end of your turn, discard them. It's just a random pile of value. I'd say it's fair enough, but not good enough. I mean, it's a random pile of value as like if you really need it, but it honestly. So all these packs are just random piles of value. So it's like they won't be like good cards. A lot of the time they'll be actually pretty bad, but you know. Well, when you but you know, at the worst, you can use it as like a top end and an aggro hunter, and honestly, it's not even that good. Then, like, you can play maybe like 2-3 beasts. You can get like a king plush or king. I don't know. You can get like 5 very high cost beasts, and then you can't play anything. In which case, tough luck. But yeah, also it's 5 random beasts, not 5 random hunter beasts. You can get neutrals as well as beasts from other classes. So you get Tyrantras. That's funny. But yeah, I think this is probably going to be the rating for every single pack since they're all very similar in that sense. But yeah. Kind of like Evocation on a budget. So next we have Products 9. Hey, everyone remember Subject 9? This is the product, which is 5 mana 4/4, Battlecry, recast every friendly secret that triggered this game. Everyone remembers Subject 9, right? Yeah, this is Subject 9, but better, I guess, since it auto-casts it for you instead of just drawing them. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, you're not always drawing, you won't always be getting 5, because, you know, maybe you won't have cost of 5, maybe you won't have, maybe you don't have enough space in your secret zone to cost 5, but, you know, it could be pretty good. I mean, I'm gonna place this as deck defining, as like a top, this will enable Secret Hunter, I think. Well, not really. Just enable Secret Hunter. It'll be very good in Secret Hunter if Secret Hunter exists. And hold on, I screwed up this. But I guess I'll talk about it while I correct it. Next up, we have Mage. Buy one, get one freeze. Very funny, Blizzard. It's 3 mana frost spell. With, which is freeze a minion, summon a frozen copy of it. They just printed another reverb. Like, dude, the reverb's gonna rotate in like 2 expansions, so they printed another one? Really? I mean, it has significant differences with compared to reverb. First one being that, it's only for mage. No warlock, thankfully. Second of all, you can't instantly kill it, but you're, just freezing it, so... Yeah, but, this one leads more into the copying thing than the removal thing, because if you copy, like, a big effect, then, you also get it. The thing is, when you copy it, and then you freeze it, and then an opposing minion, then you copy it, right? I'm fairly certain at the end of your turn it would thaw out. Then it still has to take another turn to wake up, which by then it will almost always be dead. But then again, your opponent will be forced to spend resources to remove it if it's big, or it has a threatening effect. So it's not an entire loss in that case. But yeah, but this is more focused on the copying than the removal. Next we have Malfunction. 2 mana arcane spell, deal 3 damage randomly split between all enemy minions. If your deck has no minions, deal 3 more. Yeah, this is very weak. First off, it's 2 mana arcane missiles. At worst, which is absolutely terrible considering arcane missiles is already trash at 1. But the thing is, this is slightly better than arcane missiles because I think no one ever plays arcane missiles to hit face. If you do, you are a psychopath and you need to seek mental help. So it's more consistent than arcane missiles, but it's not worth 2 mana considering arcane missiles is already weak at 1. Then when upgraded, it's 2 mana, deals 6 between all enemy, split randomly between enemy minions? Okay, when I'm thinking through it further, it doesn't sound that bad. I'm gonna place a fair enough and not good enough, actually. Yeah, 2 mana, deal 6, split between enemy minion, deal 6 to the board. Is pretty nice. I mean, you can usually kill 1 big minion or like a few mid-sized minion. I mean, like Misfire. Okay, Misfire is also 2 mana, deal 6 across the board, but then that has the issue of being a little clunky in that like you will always get the full 6 damage. But yeah, I think this is probably okay. I mean, also that one requires quick draw, so this is, I think, better than Misfire, though not, like, insanely good. Now we have Dark Moon Magician. 3 mana, 2/4, elusive. After you cast a spell, cast a random spell that costs 1 more. The con spell costs. Let's see. This one's a meme card for sure. I'm gonna just place a good meme. The thing is, it's a random spell. You have no clue what's going to happen. Like, at best, it's like an 8 mana random 8 mana spell, but a random 8 mana spell is gonna be freaking Crane Game. Like, you play this. Imagine the dream, right? You play this, you play Firelands Portal, and then you get Crane Game. Yeah, this is completely unreliable. And then, like, random bullshit. random value, but it doesn't really that furthers like no game plan. I think that's the key thing about these like bad cards is that they don't really further a game plan. So yeah, next Whack-A-Null, 1 mana spell for Paladin. Discover a Paladin weapon from the past. Give it +1/+1. Well, this one I honestly don't really know what to give it. There's quite a decent chunk of Paladin weapons. Off the top of my head, there's like what, Vine Cleaver, Silver Sword. The lower cost ones, there's like, oh, imagine getting Blood Claw. Then there's, what else is there? I mean, comparing it to Runes of Darkness, this is much less consistent. But then Runes of Darkness actually sees pretty good play. Granted, that one, I think this one's fair enough but not good enough. Compared to Runes of Darkness, this is, I think this is worse. Because, on one hand, you don't have to spend corpses for this. This is a completely unconditional +1/+1. But on the other hand, the spending corpses is more of a benefit. Because, you know, it allows you to corpse spend for Rainbow Death Knight. It also lets you get around rune requirements for Rainbow, like so you can get like the South of the Primus, which is normally 2 unholy, into your Rainbow Death Knight, so you can completely shut off Highlander, at least before they changed it. But yeah, either way, still getting South of the Primus pretty nice, but you know, that circumventing rune restrictions and spending corpses isn't really a thing that matters. This doesn't really have those synergies, so I don't think it's gonna be as good. But then Runes of Darkness is already a pretty nice card, so I think it's gonna be like it's okay if you discover it, but you won't be putting it into your decks. But and also I have no clue what you would discover this from. Maybe as rogue from like the pack, from the rogue pack. You'll see that later. And the weapon. Okay. Yes. Next we have Holy Glow Stick. 4-mana Holy Spell. Lifesteal, deal 4 damage. That costs 1 if you cast the Holy Spell this turn. Clearly this is a synergy card, so let's look at the complex ratings. I think I'll place it in niche. 1 mana deal 4 with lifesteal is nice, but then casting a holy spell that turn is kinda difficult. And then also Holy Paladin doesn't exist right now. So yeah, it probably is like similar to Whack-A-Null. It's probably okay when you discover it, but like it's going to be like pretty mid to place into your actual deck. Yeah. Next we have Flickering Lightbot. 3 mana 3/3 mech. Gigantify costs 1 less for each holy spell you've cast this game. They are pushing Holy Paladin pretty hard, aren't they? I mean, in terms of holy spells, what do they have? There's like Deputization Aura. Actually, all of the auras are holy, I think. There's like the auras. They're all holy, I think. And then there's like, what else is there? Hand of a Doll? That's still in standard, right? I don't really play this game a lot, to be honest. I mean, at 8 mana, and like a free 8/8, that can be good. The thing is, Holy Paladin, if it exists, it's likely to be a tempo deck. And this can further that game plan. I mean, Liadrin, maybe can actually see play. Hard to say. I think the synergy has to be there. But then if it is there, I think this will be good in Holy Paladin. But then it's just the Holy Paladin doesn't really exist now. Next, we have Funhouse Mirror. 3 mana shadow spell. Summon a copy of an enemy minion. It attacks the original. Hey, everyone remembers Soul Mirror, right? That was a pretty good spell. Yeah, this is... what? Just... I mean, Soul Mirror? How good was that? It was pretty good board clear, right? 7 mana usually clears the board. Summon a copy of an enemy minion attacks the original? I mean... let's just say that's a 3 mana destroy a minion. It's much more complex than that, but, a lot of minions right now have, like... either, like, just 1 more health than attack, or, like, the... equal to health equal or lower than attack, in which case you can easily like kill it off. Like there's almost always a clear or just leaves it on 1, which is easy to ping off, especially considering you're a goddamn priest. But on the other hand, you're a goddamn priest and removal's the last thing you're lacking, so yeah, I don't think it'll be that good. Besides, my current priest strats are like aggro right now. Like, really enough, it's aggro. Like there's what, dragons, Zarimi? Yeah, they kinda took a hit, but you know. Yeah, I think it could be good, I suppose. Enemy minion. Yeah, I mean, pretty mid. Almost always just leaves a minion on 1. On 1. Or kills it. But Priest doesn't lack removal. I mean, doesn't fly off the shelves cost like 1? Or like, sorry. Doesn't it cost like 3 right now? Like, this is the same cost, but it clears the whole board. And considering that they're pushing Dragon Priest to be more of a control deck now, with like Zarimi getting its requirements made like harder, as well as a fly off the shelves, which is a distinctly control card getting buffed. I think they're leading more towards the control direction. So yeah. Puppet Theater. 4 mana, 2 durability location. Choose an enemy minion, get a 1/1 copy of it that costs 1. Hey, you know how they buffed Convert, right? But so now instead of it costing 2 mana, right? So instead of it costing 3 mana like it does in Wild, for those who don't know, Convert was buffed as to be a 3 mana that chooses an enemy minion and adds it to your copy to your hand, and it costs 1. It doesn't set the stats to 1/1. The thing is, the cost to 1 is pretty good, even with the 1/1 drawback, despite like because like right now the game is very focused on like effects instead of stats. Okay, well, not really, but you know. Effects that eventually give stats, so the initial stat line doesn't matter as much. Especially when there's like mini cards and gigantify cards. But that said, I don't think Priest needs value. I don't see it being that good, and even if Priest needs value, it's like, it's only 1 cost. It's only a 1/1 in stats. I mean, it can copy a Gigantifying minion, in which case that's a good bit of value, but like, it's pretty mid, honestly. Next, we have Delayed Product. Discover and summon a minion that costs 8 or more. It then goes dormant for 2 turns. Hey, everyone remember Free from Amber? But on this is free for Amber, but on 4 mana and delayed for 2 turns. It's still pretty weak. Because this is 4 mana, do nothing. I bet like most of you here are actually watching the video actually don't know what Free for Amber is. I'll probably flash on screen when editing. So yeah. Next we have Dubious Purchase. 4 mana, draw 3 cards. With combo, destroy random enemy minion. Huh. This is certainly something. Just since when does Rogue need draw? Like, destroying a minion is kind of a nice side effect, but since when does Rogue need draw? Rogue already has like Gear Shift in Standard and like Secret Passage in Wild, or like just generally a lot of draw. Even in Standard, if you're looking at just Standard, there's cards like Quick Pick and like Panner and like Gear Shift. Just to name a few I can think of off the top. Yeah, 4 mana draw 3 is just kind of mint nowadays. You know, it's just not that good. Especially for Rogue. Rogue is like the last class that needs this. So yeah, next Rogue, we also have the Twisted Pack. Adds 5 random cards from other classes to your hand this time. Yeah. What let me literally just copy paste what I said for Hunter. Okay, next. Dust Bunny. 3 mana 3/2 beast. Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Add a random piece of junk to your hand. Coin, a rock, or a banana, or a knife. A coin, I think we're all familiar. A rock is the Excavate Treasure, which is kind of interesting. The 1 mana deal 3. Banana is a 1 mana give +1/+1. And the knife is a 1 mana 1/2 weapon. The thing is, half of these are above average compared to a card, and the other half is below average compared to a card. Which is kind of weird. It's really weird. Like, okay, like a coin or a rock would be really nice, but then a banana or a knife, it kind of just clogs your hand. I mean, a knife can be nice sometimes, but you'd much rather prefer a rock a lot of the time, I think. And banana is just really weak. It's more of just a junk filler card to fill your hand. Yeah, I don't see it being good. Next, Shaman. For Shaman, we have Rocket Hopper. 5 mana 10/10 beasts with Rush and Overload 4. They're really pushing how far they can. They're really seeing how far they can push stats, huh? The thing is, it's 5 mana 10/10. And the next turn, you're kind of just. You're on turn 6 with 2 mana. Which is just. Well, that's great. That's great, I guess. Sarcasm, by the way. Yeah, that's totally gonna be very good. Imagine evolving into this. Just imagine if you does everyone remember like a Muck Plumber? I'll probably flash it on screen while editing. 4 mana 1/1, at least if I remember correctly, it's called Muck Plumber. It's the 4 mana 1/1 from Nathria that summons a 3/5 elemental with taunt, right? Now imagine evolving the 1/1 into this. That would be hilarious. Although very unlikely, because that's a wild. It would be hilarious, though. Next, we have Wave of Nostalgia. 5 mana nature spell. Transform all minions into random legendary ones from the past. Good meme. It's good meme, I guess. It's literally the epitome of a funny card. It is, hold on. It is the funny card. Yeah. Next we have Murloc Growlfin. 1 mana 1/1 Gigantify, Battlecry, summon a Tiny Fin with Rush with stats equal to this minion's. First off, this is better than Alicana Whoppertanger. Which, you know, L to Hunter, right? So, and then there's also and then there's also Tiny Fin has Rush as well. Plus, it also gives you value for 8 mana for 2 8/8s with 1 having Rush, which is kind of just Mishfin. But instead of a 10 mana 9/9, it's minus the flexibility. It's 8 mana 8/8. That's actually pretty good. I think because it's a 1-drop. It's like a 1-drop. That I think being a 1-drop makes this card good. 1 mana for 2 1/1s is actually pretty good, I think. Next we have Mass Production. 1 mana, Warlock spell. Draw 2 cards, deal 3 damage to your hero, shuffle 2 copies of this into your deck. This card. This is surprisingly complicated for a common card. Well, not really the card's affected per se, it's just how good it is really complicated. First off, obscenely broken for Demon Seed. This is what, 10 mana deal 30 if you're playing Demon Seed? That reloads itself. Like, it doesn't even, like, fatigue you, dude. That's absurd. But on the other hand, it's also diluting your deck. Like, it dilutes your deck. Like, the first few times you play it, it's gonna be pretty good, but then it's gonna dilute your deck a lot. I mean, you can just play a lot of it, and then, like, you use these mass productions as, like, fodder for, like, chaos creation. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna place it. This is a really weird card. I think I'm gonna place it in a complex tier. I think I'm gonna say deck defining. It's not literally gonna be defining your deck, but you know, that's my rating system, right? It's just pretty insane in Demon Seed, but pretty mid everywhere else. I mean, okay, I guess it could be pretty good in aggro too. Yeah, you know what? I really don't know. Either way, domino effect. Deal 2 damage to a minion, then repeat to the left or right, dealing 1 more damage each time. In case you can't tell, this repeats itself constantly. I think this is pretty good. This 3 mana to clear an entire board is great. Well, not great, it's good. And then also being able to... How do I say this? 3 damage to clear an entire board is pretty good, and then also this effect, but then it's not always going to be like clearing it unconditionally. Like, you have to play around it. You have to pay it when you're playing against Warlock. You have to pay attention to how you play the positioning of your minions, because well, you know, now you have to watch out for this card, because I'd imagine it'd be actually pretty good. Yeah, watch. Or, I mean, you don't want to place, like, your minions in, like, a line, right? Like, they're in a line ascending by health, right? Like, you have to make sure you have to, like, stagger the positioning. Like, you must have, like, a 1 health and, like, a 3 health, then, like, a 5 health, and then, like, a 4 health or something. I don't know, I'm not creative. Yeah. Also note that if there are fewer minions, then they will also deal less damage. So you can also intentionally play fewer minions. So there is counterplay. It's not always 3 mana to clear the board, which is good. It's very good for this to have counterplay. Very has to be there for it to be healthy for the meta, but yeah. Next we have Inferno. Pretty sure this is a Lord Jirax's reference. It's 4 mana 6/6 demon with taunt and battle cry. Send your heroes remaining health to 15. I honestly don't know. I'm gonna say niche. I watched like a few wild YouTubers. They say like which is why I thought this is why I said like insane and demon seed. But yeah, there's this wild YouTuber I watch. He said that this is pretty good in even luck. Now I have no clue. I never played even luck. I don't own Gen. And since even luck is bad, honestly, it's I haven't really like I haven't tried. I haven't seen it around. So yeah, but this can help with like playing out your Molten Giants, which is allegedly one of the problems that even luck has. One of the bigger ones, at least. But other than that, I mean, it's standard. Like you can just play it as a 4 mana 6/6 taunt with like no regard for your health. That could be something. And like an aggro deck as like a 4 mana 6/6. I don't think it'll be that good in that case, but And if you're low on health, yeah, okay, I guess. In case you can't tell, this is like an Alex-like effect. If you know how Alex works, like the original one, you'll know how this one does. So yeah. Next we have Heart Scrapper. 2 mana, lose up to 5 armor. Your next mech costs that much less. There's a warrior spell. 2 mana for up to 5 mana discount on your next mech. This could actually see play. In any case, this is much better than Chemical Spill, I'll give it that much. But Chemical Spill is exactly as I predicted, saw no play. I did say saw no play, right? Hold on, let me check my rating. Because I documented it all here. Let's see. Chemical Spill, where is it? Here. It's at 5. Brain buffets are 4. For whatever reason, my brain pictures this as 4. Oh well. Either way, it's saw no play, right? Yeah, I wrote niche. I'm really generous, aren't I? Yeah, this is better than that at least. But it depends on mechs being good. So mechs and warrior, there's like target dummy. You can play that immediately next turn if you can get like if you can get like 5 armor. The thing is, getting armor early isn't exactly what you'd call easy. Like I guess you can like and while if there is Frozen Buckler, you can like Frozen Buckler Shield Shatter, then you can play this. So yeah, that's a thing, I guess. Shield Block is also a thing that can be good. But 5 armor is a lot. It's kind of a lot. It's not that easy to get. I'm gonna place it in deck defining. I think it's good, but like it's hard to say. There needs to be armor cards as well as mech cards that are good. I mean, there are good mech cards, right? The new Ziliax. There's like what? The perfect module. Go get the sheet. There's what? Perfect plus twin is really good with this because it'll be like 4 mana for 6/5 Ziliax. 4 mana with like 6/5s with Ziliax keywords that copies itself too. That could be good. But other than that, yeah, no, I don't really see it being that good. Actually, wait, what? Did I just say I don't see it being that good? Yeah. Depends on having good armor and what's it? Armor and mech cards. Next we have standardized pack. Add 5 random taunt minions to your hand. At the end of your turn, discard them. Alright. Now we have 10 mana. Wait, now we have Safety Expert. 10 mana 8/8. With Rush, Death Rattle, shuffle 3 bombs into your opponent's deck. They're bringing back bombs. There's no bomb support right now. Well, bombs, when they draw bombs, they take 5 damage, so they're really bringing back bombs. I don't see this being good. It's just 10 mana, 8. I mean, 8/8 Rush can be interesting, but like, Rush with, theoretical, eventual 15 damage. Makes the game really unfun though, like you have to hope you don't draw bombs. Which can be kind of tilting. So yeah, next we have Explodineer. 3 mana 2/4 with Rattlegore hero power. But for those who don't know, I'll read it. At the end of your turn, shuffle a bomb into your opponent's deck. When drawn, it explodes for 5 damage. Same case with this. Actually, I'm not even gonna put it fair. Fair enough, I know I'm good enough. I'm gonna place pretty weak. It like at least the Safety Expert has like the mech tag and having big stats. So like maybe you can cheat it out or something. But then this is just honestly terrible. It's 3 mana 2/4 with no immediate impacts. Like it's just 3 mana 2/4 that shuffles a bomb. And bombs are like should be treated as like just a minor bonus, since you can't really like guarantee it. So yeah. I think a good way to gauge like a bomb's value is to treat it like 2 plagues, from Death Knight. I'd say that's about equivalent. Like the bomb is like what 5 damage, and 2 plagues would be like 4 damage plus either 4 health to the opponent's face, or your opponent gets 2 2/2s, or like you basically lose 2 mana or some mix of that. So I think it's worth about 2 bombs, and compared to like the plate cards, there's like Down with the Ship, and then there's Distressed Vulgar. I think it's the closest comparison because it's a minion. But yeah, it's honestly pretty mid as a 3 mana 2/4. With this effect, it's really mid. I don't see it being good. Unless they put more bomb support, in which case, maybe. If they print bomb supports, maybe. But, but I don't have confidence it will, even with bomb support, because there are a lot of better cards in Warrior. Because, bombs, you generally want to, survive long enough for them to draw them. So, I think a lot of, like, bomb warriors would rather run the control package from, like, Titans and probably already have their 30 cards covered. So, yeah. Next, we have the neutrals, I think, right? Oh, well, this was already a neutral, right? Explodineer, this is neutral, but it might as well be a warrior because who the hey else is going to play bombs? Anyway, Building Block Golem. 5 mana 6/3. Rush with Death Rattles, summon 3 random 1-cost minions. Next, we have Pro Gamer. Battle Cry, challenge your opponent to a game of rock, paper, scissors. The winner draws 2 cards. Okay, this is really funny. It is really funny. Honestly, the thing is, the skill in rock, paper, scissors is to be able to infer what your opponent's going to do via like visual cues. In case you didn't know, if you've been treating it as luck, then well, yeah, it's luck. But then the skill in rock, paper, scissors is knowing your opponent and then observing your movements to accurately predict. Or, you know, you can go off intuition, in which case that's kind of luck as well. But even then, it's also kind of luck. Either way, what I'm saying is that this is just luck. 2 out of 2-3 with about a 50-50 chance, let's just say that, to draw 2 cards. My guess is that if you tie, you either both draw 1 card or no cards at all. I'd imagine it's both draw 1. I mean, if you like in like Battlegrounds, like with the overconfidence and Lord Barrow's hero power, like generally you're like spending 1 gold. Basically, you're spending 1 gold to bet. If you win the bet, you get 3 back. If you lose the bet, you get none. And if the bet like ties, because you know it's based on winning or losing, so if it ties, then you get just 1 back. You know, just enough to refund it. So it's most likely going to be draw 1. Though I don't actually know. I should probably check. So yeah. Next we have the Replicator. What is this Dr. Doofenshmirtz on name? 5 mana 5/5 mech with Mini and Gigantify. After you play a minion with the same attack as this, just summon a copy of it. Thing is, you immediately get both copies of it. So yeah, that's a thing. The thing is, I'll place this as niche. The thing is, first off, at 5 mana, it's gonna be kind of difficult to, like, you know, get 5 minions, 5 attack minions. There ain't a lot. There's like, what, Living Horizon? Okay, that's pretty good, to be fair. Then there's what, Mantle Shapers. And then the 1/1s, there's like, well, there are mini cards, but you're only getting 1/1 in stats. It's not a lot. And as for the 8/8, it's hard to get a lot of copies of it down, since, you know, most of them will be costing 8. If you use it with Giants, that could be good. I think it'll be mostly with Giants, probably. I think. Like, probably use with Giants. With like the what's it? Where is it? The Paladin card from earlier. Where is it? Yeah, Flickering Light Bot, like the Gigantify one. If that exists, that's good. This will be pretty good. But well, that is if you actually play them for tempo, right? Maybe with like some kind of hand holy paladin, where you're playing like both Living Horizons and those Flickering Light Bots, maybe. But honestly, I don't see it be that good. And finally, we have Puppet Master Dorian. 4 mana 2/6. After you draw a minion, get a 1/1 copy that costs 1. This is, I initially put as deck defining. I might demote it a little. You basically just get to get an extra mini copy of any card, which is pretty good. The thing is, unlike Original Dorian, for those who don't know, Original Dorian is a 4 mana 2/6 that summons a 1/1 copy immediately. This is can be kind of unreliable, because, you know, it's draw based, and draw's inherently luck based. Unless you draw through your entire deck or something, I don't know. Or you like order the court or something. But let's just say it's random. But then, like, on the other hand, you're also like, even then, 1 mana 1/1 copies of minions might not even be that good. Like, you can get like what's the best 1 mana 1/1? Probably Panna. Panna would be really good. Helps. It's great with this as well as it's great when you. How do I say this? It's a great use of this effect as well as a great enabler for this effect. Panna is probably the best card for this. Other than that, there's what, Crimson Signal Runner? Yeah, extra copy of it, sure. But the extra copy won't be outcasted. The original copy won't be outcast. Yeah, the original won't be. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. Either way, yeah, no, maybe I'll demote it to niche. I can see it being good, but like I think you really need to assemble some kind of combo, and on its own, it's a 4-mana 2/6. I mean, it's not bad. Like, Okani has had that stat line, and Okani was great. But, like, Okani also countered a card, so that was great. So that's, obviously a huge part of what made it great. But, yeah, I don't think it's super good. But, yeah. So that's all for the mini set. As for my overall thoughts on the mini set, I don't see any absurdly broken cards except for mass production and specifically Demon Seed. But and some of these cards, some of these design choices, these choices in general, are kind of questionable to me. Like, why would you print a new keyword entirely for literally 5 cards? What? Then also, there's also like a few more things I have, a few bones I have to pick. I mean, actually not that many. It's mostly just that. Also, Bomb Warrior, why are you bringing that back? No one likes Bomb Warrior. Like, there's, rock, paper, scissors. Everyone loves rock, paper, scissors. Let's see, delayed products, yeah. A lot of throwback cards, like, a lot of cards are revealed. Like, yeah, speaking of throwback cards, they just freaking reprinted 9 Lives? What was up with that? What? Why? that just feels so random. What? Why? There wasn't even Death Rattle support this expansion. There was literally just like Umpire's Grasp and End of List, right? Demon Hunter set this expansion was literally just pile of good cards, right? You look at Demon Hunter. Okay, Malhog is pretty good too, I guess. Syzygy. Syzygy. That's a good meme. Yeah, but as I was saying, yeah, this just what they have like some very few death rattles in the set in standard right now that they actually play. There's like Ballhog and Umpire's Grasp, and from previous expansions they have like literally nothing. They have like a grand total of like 2 death rattle cards. Like, without really that exaggerating, like 2, maybe like 3, 4 death rattle cards, and they just reprinted 9 Lives for a class with like, what? Why? And also, this is Gibberling Reject. This is clearly a patron stat line. Why are you making a Gibberling? Oh, good lord, I am nitpicking. But yeah, overall the set, okay, I guess. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed my ranting and rambling. If you did, like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video, I guess, which will be soon, Tien. Right, bye.